Today I'm going to talk to you about how I see the fretboard and kind of unravel a little bit of the mystery behind it, because there's just like, John McLaughlin would explain it, it's a jungle pretty much, and it kind of is, and so how do you make sense out of it? And for me, being a self-taught guitar player and a big fan of rock, it's really easy for me to kind of see the fretboard as the pentatonic boxes. So I'm not going to talk about that so much in itself. I'm just going to mainly talk about just these little tricks that, you've heard, like Jimmy Page or Joe Perry or any of these guys, they play something and you're like, oh, what is that? So within these pentatonic boxes, there's all these little tricks. So like in the first... So let's just start basic. I'm in B minor pentatonic. So first you can do a bend right here on the G string. 9th fret, you can bend here. 10th fret on the B, try to get that in tune. And then 10th fret on the high E. So if you hear somebody go like, so that's all in the outline within that, okay? So just know, wherever you are, we're in B now, but if I'm in E, it's good to know the notes of what you're playing and how to read them on a piece of staff paper, but for me, for the most part, I just kind of see the shapes of it. So just know within this shape that you can bend here, you can bend here, and you can bend here. You can also bend on the 7th fret on the G string. So you bend here, and you can also bend here. You might hear somebody like Jeff Beck do that. Put some attitude into it. So you have that. So just know you can do this in any key. So if I'm an F, like, it just translates. You just shift over the shape. It's pretty easy. And there's 5 pentatonic positions. So there's that, but I'll start here. That's 1 position, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it starts over. And then I have no more fretboard. So, a good way to memorize these positions is you can either sit down and just play them over and over again, or you can learn these little tricks or these little bends within each position of it, so that makes it a little bit easier to remember. So this is, I'll call that second position, but most people call it first. I think first is this. Okay, so you bend here, but we're gonna go into that third position really quick. And so if I slide up here, I'm on the 12th fret on the high E string, key of B. You can bend here. Okay, or you can also bend on the 10th fret. So you hear a lot of blues players do that. Stevie Ray Vaughan or somebody would be like, I can't do it like him, but it's just a nice little something to add in there. It's beautiful. So just know that you can bend here, you can bend here, you can also bend here. So, right? Another favorite one that I like, that was bending on the 12th fret on the B string, by the way. You can also bend here, 11th fret on the G string. I love that one. So if I'm in that first position, or second, technically, that's just the main box pattern that most people think of when they think of pentatonic, okay? If I were to slide up 2 frets, and then bend, and then just play the chromatic notes coming down, so 11, 10, 9, and then I'm back in the 7, so adds a little something. So instead of just seeing, instead of just seeing the straight notes, just kind of add these little markers in your brain. Oh, I can bend here, I can bend here, I can bend here. And then pretty soon, if you hear it on a recording, you can actually tell where they are on the fretboard based on how the bend sounds. So whenever I hear somebody do this, most of the time I could kind of tell that they're right there in that position. I kind of explained this before. If you bend here and use your pinky, or you can bend with your middle finger, or keep your ring finger where it is. This is how I do it. You bend with your ring finger, and then put your pinky on the 10th fret on the B string, key of B, and play them both at the same time. Keep in mind, you're not bending the B string. The only string you're bending is that G string, and then the B string is staying right where it is. Another thing you can do is bar the 9th fret on the G string and the B string. So I'm doing, and I am bending both of those, just slightly. So I'm bending the G string and the B string, 9th fret. Oops. And then I'm kind of I'm barring the 7th fret on the G string and the B string right after. So like if I was going to go that type of thing, right? So one thing that I try to do is, whether I'm recording or playing in a band, I try to be aware of my vocabulary, which for me, I tend to forget. And by vocabulary, it's kind of knowing, okay, I have that in my arsenal, or, right? There's so many little ideas and stuff, and I don't know if I could possibly cover it in this video, because it's maybe going in and out of Dorian and Mixolydian and all that stuff, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so we got those bends. Now, we're still in 3rd position. You can do this. Just slide up, to that 13th fret. You can do whatever you want with it. I can go over specific licks, but I'm just showing the possibility, just what is there. So you can bend here, here, and then here, and then here. And you could actually bend on the lower strings too, like if you want to put some attitude, John McLaughlin and Mahavishnu would do that kind of thing. I don't know, something like that. He does it much better. So I'm in this position. Let's move up one more. Let's say slide up 2 more frets and then bend. Even somebody like Jimmy Page do that, like. So we're in the next position. I'm just going to go over that. So here's the first one, second, and then the third. And like I said before, the easiest way to sort of memorize these patterns is you can just sit in your room and play that over and over again, which is good. That's a lot of what I did. But what has helped me memorize these things is if I know where I can bend within that. Some people tend to do this. And then they forget about all those other ones. But even that in itself isn't bad, because even if they're just moving up a little bit, they're still aware of that next position. So we have this, bring it down. I'm on the 14th fret on the high E. So I go 14, 13, and 12. If you want to know the notes, what is that? Like F sharp, F, and E, okay? So, and then I bend on the 15th fret on the B. And then, I don't know, I kind of end it. So I go 15, 12, then 14 on the G string, and then back up to the 12 on the B string. So I can go. Or instead of bending on the 15th, I can bend on the 14th. So that's what some people call the blue note. It's kind of in between the major and the minor third. So a really good blues player will not just do minor pentatonic, he'll incorporate major and minor. So he'll kind of go like, kind of mix it up a little bit. So we have this, and then we have, those two, and then we have 10th fret on the high E string, and then we can go however you want to do it. Just know that this note is available as kind of a passing tone. Then we have bend on the 12th fret on the B string. Like I said, we're still in B pentatonic. And then you can bend on the 11th fret on the G string. And just know that this isn't exclusive just to this key. If I move to F sharp, if I want to do that, it's the same thing. Just be aware of the note spacing, and then you just kind of shift it over. It's pretty cool. Like I said, on a piano, you have to shift in and out of different combinations of white and black keys. On guitar, even though that's happening too, to an extent, it's just being aware of positioning and just shifting. It's sweet. So I'm here, and then you could also bend on that 14th fret, and then just kind of continue down that way. Okay. And then in the next position, I'm in that, what is that, the 4th position? I can bend there. So bending on the 17th fret, this in itself. Okay, and then I bend on the 17th fret, high E string, and I can also bend on the 17th on the B string. And then I could bend up a little bit on the 15th fret on the B string. And I'm running out of time. We have like 2 minutes left on the camera? 1 minute. One really quick. You can slide in a half step to every note, okay? So watch this. Let's say this note right here, you can slide in a half step. Slide in a half step to the B string. Slide in a half step to the G string. Slide in a half string to the D string. And you can slide in anywhere. Just this in itself doesn't sound good. Not really, but you just know you can slide into the right note. And you could do that anywhere. So let's say, my name is Daniel Rettberg Peter. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I will elaborate more in the future when we have more camera battery. Okay, if you like my channel, subscribe to it to see more videos like this. And thanks a lot, guys. Peace.